Okay, let's dive right into this. Welcome to today's Explainer, where we're going to unpack what is honestly one of the most chilling, perplexing, and just deeply unsettling unsolved cases in American history. We're heading all the way back to West Virginia in 1945 to look at the mystery of the Sodder children. It's a story that starts with an absolutely devastating disaster, but then it quickly evolves into this puzzle that completely defies logic.
5. I really want you to just let the sheer stakes of that number sink in for a second. We're talking about 5 young children trapped inside their very own burning home. The stakes simply do not get any higher than that. And the tragedy, it doesn't get any deeper. But, what makes this story such an enduring mystery isn't just the fire itself. It's what happened. Or actually, scratch that. It's what didn't happen next.
And that brings us to the central, truly baffling anomaly of this whole case. Think about it. How do 5 children vanish from a burning house without leaving a single, solitary trace behind? To figure out how this could possibly happen, we have to look directly at the facts, the timelines, and the incredibly bizarre clues that have basically left investigators peeling the onion for generations.
Section 1. Tragedy on Christmas Eve, West Virginia, 1945.
So let's get the exact timeline straight for that fateful night. It kicks off on the evening of Christmas Eve, 1945. You've got George and Jenny Sodder, along with 9 of their kids, just having this quiet, cozy celebration inside their home. Everything is perfectly normal. Then, bam, around midnight, sudden chaos. The house catches fire. And we are not talking about a slow, creeping burn here. Just minutes later, flames completely consume the entire home. You can only imagine the absolute blinding panic the family was dealing with in those dark, frantic moments.
And this brilliantly illustrates the tragic split that happened in all that chaos. George and Jenny somehow managed to escape the inferno, and they dragged 4 of their kids out with them into the freezing cold night. But the remaining 5 were still trapped upstairs. Now, in the immediate aftermath, as the house literally burned to the ground, everybody naturally assumed the absolute worst, right? They figured those 5 children had tragically succumbed to the flames.
Section 2. The impossible discovery. The aftermath of the blaze.
Okay, here's where a physical impossibility rears its head. The expert investigators were crystal clear on this. Even with the incredible intensity of that blaze, bones absolutely should have been recovered from the ashes. A typical house fire, it just doesn't burn hot enough or long enough to completely cremate a human body. Human remains simply don't evaporate into thin air. And yet, the actual findings revealed absolutely nothing. No bodies, no skeletons. 0 human remains were ever found in the ashes of that home. None.
Section 3. Clues in the ashes. Bizarre circumstantial evidence.
Now, if the total lack of physical remains wasn't baffling enough for you, get a load of this rapid-fire list of strange events right around the time of the fire. The family's phone line, it wasn't burned, it was found intentionally cut. A heavy ladder that was literally always resting against the house was suddenly missing, only to be found later hidden down in a nearby embankment. And incredibly, witnesses actually reported seeing the children alive, riding by in a car after the fire had already started. So the crucial point is, these weren't mere coincidences. These bizarre anomalies took the investigation from a tragic accident straight to suspected foul play, and a much more horrifying alternative started to take shape.
Section 4. A cryptic photograph. A chilling delivery years later.
This mystery completely refused to fade away, long after those ashes had cooled. Years later, out of nowhere, George and Jenny get this mysterious envelope in the mail. Inside was a photograph of a young man who looked eerily similar to one of their missing sons. And to make it even crazier, it had this cryptic, almost taunting message written on the back. For the parents, this haunting delivery was the ultimate proof. It just completely fueled their absolute belief that their kids hadn't perished in that fire, but had actually been taken.
Section 5. The 75-year mystery. A decades-long search. Over 75 years have passed since that Christmas Eve. Because the family utterly refused to ever believe their kids were dead, they launched into this relentless, decades-long search all across America. They hired private investigators, they threw up a massive billboard bearing the children's faces right out on Route 16, and they chased down literally every single lead. And yet, despite all those years ticking by, nobody knows what truly happened to the missing Sodder children.
Which leaves us with this final, absolutely haunting question. Did they die in the flames, or did they vanish forever into the darkness? It is just a staggering thought that a mystery with so many clues could remain entirely unsolved today. Thank you so much for joining me for this explainer.
Keep questioning the narratives out there, and I'll see you next time.